Alright, so I'm very excited about this build. I'm very excited for what we're going to be doing to this vehicle, so stay with us over the next few weeks. We're going to be visiting different places, discussing different options, discussing the fridges, what is available in the line of rooftop tents, and I'm very excited to see what we're going to do with this vehicle and trailer over the next few weeks, getting it ready for our overlanding adventures. My name is Philip Sylvester. Join me as we share our overlanding adventures through Southern Africa with you. Welcome back to Earthwalker Ventures. Welcome back to a new type of series. I'm going to try and do a bit of a series where we talk about some of the equipment that we do have as we are busy planning our vehicle and getting it rigged for our overlanding adventures. So, building up a vehicle on a budget. A budget does not mean skimping on quality. So we are still looking at quality products, putting in quality. But when I talk about budget, I'm talking about people that want to get out there and do a Botswana, do a Namibia trip. But what do they require? What are the basics that you require to do these type of adventures? It's really looking at what we need, and firstly what we have, what can we use, what do we need to replace, and get ready for our adventures, because we do have adventures coming up that we do have planned, and we want to kind of get our rig ready. So to introduce the vehicle, we've got a 2013 VW Touareg over here. Now some of you might say, oh wow, that is an expensive vehicle. But you know what? I spent 6 months to a year looking for a good 4x4 overlanding vehicle. And yes, these are my own opinions and I'm just sharing them with you. Everybody has their own opinions, but these are my opinions over the time when I was exploring what vehicle to buy. I was looking at the Fortuner, I was looking at the X-Trail. They've got a 4x4 option in the Nissan X-Trail. I was looking at the Land Rover Freelander. I was looking at a Bakkie. One of the Bakkies I looked at was the Hilux Bakkie. I also looked at the Amarok Bakkie. So those are some of the vehicles that I was looking at. Oh, another vehicle we looked at, another 4x4 option was the Duster, the Renault Duster. Also has a 4x4 option. So those are all the type of vehicles that we looked at, and looking at price and availability and reliability, everything played a big role. You may have seen us posting photos, posting videos of this vehicle. We purchased it about a year ago. The reason I haven't done much on the vehicle is because I wanted to give myself time to test the vehicle. It is a second-hand vehicle, so you always want to be careful before you start building up a vehicle and adding stuff to it. So I have taken this year now to really test the vehicle, do some basic overlanding around Gauteng. We've done one big trip up to Mapumbukwe just to get a feeling for the vehicle and really test out all the settings, because it is a second-hand vehicle, to make sure everything's working. And that it's been a year now, and I must admit I'm very happy with the results that I've seen of this vehicle. So as you can see behind me, we've got our Volkswagen Touareg. It's a 2013 model. I did find one with coil over suspension, because you do have the option of air suspension or coil suspension in these models, in this year models, and I made sure that I found one with coil suspension, purely because coil suspension is more reliable in the bush, if you're out there, and the performance of the coil suspension on overlanding, off-roading terrain, it just gives you a better response. The air suspension, fantastic suspension, but should one of those air bellows give any problems, the car will settle, and you in the bush, you in Botswana, remote areas, if that air suspension gives any problems, then you're sitting with major problems in the bush, and you can't move the vehicle because one of your air bellows has deflated. So that's the reason I really looked for a car with coil hydraulic suspension. And I must admit, I did find this model, second-hand model, as I mentioned. It has about 100, when we bought it about a year ago, it had about 150,000 Ks on it, which is nothing for these type of engines. So the engine that I do have in this one is a V6 diesel. It's 180 kilowatts. V6, as I say, it's got enough power to take us on adventures that we want to go on. The vehicle behind me as well, it does have a low range setting, as well as the center diff lock, as well as a rear diff lock. Now that was very important to me. There was very limited models that had this off-road package, as they call it, that has all of these diff lockers in them, as well as the low range function. I did have to look quite hard. There was just a handful when I was looking. It took me about 6 months to about a year of looking at different vehicles before I found one that ticked all of the boxes, and to make sure I was happy with everything. The later models, 2016 and up, they took away the low range diff locks and the off-road package, and you couldn't get that option anymore here in South Africa. So up until about 2014 they made these models with low range, with diff lock, and with center diff, which will really help us in the bush in different situations, especially that low range when we're driving soft sand or driving over rocks or that type of thing. We really do rely on that low range to assist us to get over. Alright, looking at the tires, we have obviously kept the tires standard. It came out of the factory when I bought it. Second hand, it came out with these tires brand new. These are your normal road tires, but I was very happy when I looked at this vehicle, is because when they brought it to me, it had all of these off-road extras, but it also came out of the factory with 17-inch rims, which really is a benefit when going off-roading, to have smallest rims possible, allowing more space for the tire between the rim and the road. That allows you, when deflating the tires, to make sure you really get that nice bubble when you are going off-roading. So I was extremely happy when this vehicle was brought and it had the 17-inch tires. So we will upgrade these tires. As I mentioned, these are our standard road type of tires. We are going to upgrade them to a more all-terrain type of tire. So some of the options that we are looking at is Goodyear Wrangler was one of them that popped up, all-terrain. There's a Falcon, which I saw a good review on, a Falcon all-terrain. Another one is the Scorpion Pirelli, which also has a great all-terrain type of options. So at this point we will, in this series, go and visit a tire outlet and actually talk about tires and see what's available, see what we can fit into this vehicle. So standard, it comes with the 235/65 17s. I would like to look at the option of upgrading to a slightly bigger size, so a 265/65 17, which will just give me even more rubber between the rim and the road. So share your thoughts and comment below as to what tire make as well as what tire size you think I should fit onto this vehicle. That's what I'm looking at, and as I say, throughout this series we are going to go to a tire outlet and actually have a look at what tires are available. Okay, so that was now all about the tires. Coming to the back of the vehicle, we are possibly going to look at what options we can put inside the back of the vehicle as well as on the roof. So one of the options we're looking at is possibly putting on a roof rack. A roof rack will just increase our packing space. So you want to put your diesel on top of the roof, you want to put your extra water on top of the roof, maybe a rooftop tent on top of the roof, those type of things. Get them out of the way. You don't want to store diesel inside your trailer or inside your vehicle, because contamination, you don't really want that. So that's one of the options we're possibly going to look at just increasing the packing space. That will also, should we go touring just with the vehicle, go overlanding just with this vehicle, then we will definitely need the roof rack because we won't have the trailer with us. So one of the things that we are considering, what we are looking at, is possibly putting in a drawer system. So something that fits onto the bed of the floor over here and splits the boot into two sections. So possibly have a drawer that slides out over here, this side over here, and then maybe put a fridge on this side that slides out on rails on this side, which comes out over here. Behind that, get the battery in to keep the fridge running, that type of thing. So we are busy looking at what options we can put in over here. Putting in a drawer over here, we'll split it. At least we can put our items into the drawer at the bottom and have a section on the top to pack some more loose items on top of that. So that is a very good idea that we are playing with, and we're going to look at what is available to put inside the boot. So inside the vehicle, I can probably go with about a 40-litre fridge that would fit in sideways over here on a little drawer system type of thing. But as I say, that we are still looking at. The only negative side, if we do put in a drawer system, is we do lose the accessibility to our tire area. So you'll see this vehicle comes with one of these deflated tires. It comes with a compressor, so if you do have a breakdown, you can inflate this tire, and this is basically your spare. Not ideal for overlanding for the purpose we're going to be doing. So it will help us out of a tricky situation just to get out, but I will probably need to get an extra rim for the car, and standard 17-inch rim with a spare tire. Now obviously that's another question, where do we put that? But back to the drawer system. If we do put the drawer system, we are going to lose accessibility to this section, and you'll see there's actually quite a bit of space, things that we can put inside over here. So all of these things are going to have to go somewhere else inside the vehicle if we put in a drawer system. So it's all options that we are thinking about. Brings us to the back of the vehicle. You will see I've got a trailer hitched to the back of it. This is what we standard already have. This is what we already purchased. It is a standard 6-foot trailer with a nose cone. We've already done a couple of adventures with them. We've done a Mozambique trip. We've done, well, actually 2 Mozambique trips. We've done Kruger trips with this trailer. We've done fishing trips. So we've done a couple of things, and really it's done quite well with what we've needed it for. And now we're going to be looking at what can we add to the trailer to use it for our off-roading adventures. You will see it is a standard trailer, but it does have pretty good clearance if you look at the front of it as well as in the back. It does taper up over there, so it does have some nice clearance. Opening up the nose cone over here, I've used this quite a bit just to access small things. I've left my compressor in here. I've left small items that I need quick access to, normally my power cables and all of that type of thing I've always put into the nose cone. Opening up the main compartment. What I really do like about this trailer is that it's open right through. Some of the other trailers, the nose cone is sealed off, which then only gives you the 6-foot space. This trailer gives you the 6 foot plus that little bit of extra to access the nose cone. So it is straight through. It's one of the few trailers that I've seen that actually has that. A lot of the other trailers, as I say, are sealed off over there. So that is one thing I really do like about this trailer, is just the accessibility and so on. It's got hydraulics in it, so it's easy lifting and so on. It also has this standard roof rack supporting system. We've already used it. We've tied extra stuff on top of this roof rack. We've put tents on top of over here. You can tie down ammo boxes. So we've actually already, on our previous trips to Mozambique and Kruger, we've actually tied things on top of this roof rack. I've gone as far as actually fastening my bicycle onto here just for extra support. So looking at what I have, and as I say, these are all just options that we are playing with, trying to figure out what are the right steps, what are we going to be doing to this trailer to make it usable for us. Okay. So one of the things that we do need is, we currently have a dome tent which works fine for us, but we would like to actually get a rooftop tent, because a rooftop tent is just much easier pitching it, packing it away. If you are doing those overlanding trips where you're spending 1-2 nights in different locations, to get a rooftop tent, we can mount it onto this trailer, onto these bars here, and then we've got our rooftop tent on top of this trailer. That will really make life a lot easier than pitching the dome tent every single time. So that's one thing we are playing with. One of the ideas that we have is to get a rooftop tent onto this. And another thing that we're looking at is getting a proper camping fridge. So one of the requirements when I'm looking at a camping fridge is I want to get one that has got a dual compartment, so split into 2 different sections. It needs to be obviously 12 volt to run off the battery system, as well as 220 if you are a campsite that does have power, you can run it off the 220. So I am going to be looking at the National Lunar range, I'm going to be looking at the Snowmaster range or the Engel range, just to try and figure out what's out there, what's going to fit in here, what's going to work for us. Obviously then we will also need to build a bit of a dual battery system, so that's going to be in the nose cone over there. We're going to have to get a battery in there, possibly a solar panel to charge the battery, and a trailer charge from the vehicle to also charge it while we drive. So that's another thing we're playing with. Currently, what does maybe concern me a little bit is weight. I will have to obviously keep my weight as low as possible with this trailer, because it doesn't have the strength of an off-road 4x4 type of trailer. It's got no shocks in the back, it doesn't have an inline braking system, it's got standard type of tires, not much space for travel if you are going off-roading. So there are some things that are concerning me, but you know what, when we're looking at a budget build, it's sometimes best to look at what you have, use what you have, and then you can always add on at a later stage. So that is 2 ideas that I'm playing with. Is I already have this trailer, so let's use this trailer as it is, and as we get more into it and that type of thing, we can always upgrade to a bit more of a rugged off-road type of trailer. So that is my thought process at the moment. As I mentioned, the only thing that is concerning me is the strength of this trailer. Will it be strong enough to carry the rooftop tent, plus all of these extras we are thinking about putting in. Dual battery systems, lithium is the way to go, but as I say, we're still going to be exploring all of those options in the next few weeks as we build all of this up. I'm very excited about this build. I'm very excited for what we're going to be doing to this vehicle, so stay with us over the next few weeks. We're going to be visiting different places, discussing different options, discussing the fridges, what is available in the line of rooftop tents, and I'm very excited to see what we're going to do with this vehicle and trailer over the next few weeks, getting it ready for our overlanding adventures, making it ready for those Botswana, Namibia trips that we want to go and do. If you enjoyed watching this episode, like and subscribe, hit that notification bell to receive notifications when we do upload more videos. And if you would like to join our patrons page, where you can become a supporter of our channel, head down to Patreon and subscribe to our Patreons. Thank you for watching.